D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. So I want to talk about Tim Bradley. So we all know Tim Bradley, caping hard for ESPN and Top Rank. Tim Bradley came out quickly, even after Bud Crawford himself said that he didn't think that Errol Spence Jr. was ducking him. Tim Bradley came out and said, on the contrary, Errol Spence Jr. is ducking Terrence Crawford. Tim Bradley also famously said that there is no other side of the street, that those guys just don't want to fight Bud Crawford, and he took that and ran with it. We also seen the clip of Bradley throwing out money, talking about, Errol Spence Jr. I made a video about that some time back, probably about 2 months ago. And also Black Fight Fan Trill Boxer Talk hit on that today. That was one of the things I said in my super chat, actually, was that that Tim Bradley, when he was an active fighter fighting for Top Rank exclusively, he pretty much refused and made no effort to fight any of the other guys on the quote-unquote other side of the street. Black Fight Fan hit on it himself, saying that Bradley was like the originator of coining that phrase, other side of the street, so to speak, when asked about the other guys that were active at that time. If you look at Bradley's career, Bradley made a career once he arrived at 140, and pretty much got established. He kind of stayed away from guys that weren't top ranked fighters, not 140, I meant to say 147. Once he kind of established himself at 147, he pretty much exclusively fought top ranked guys. Bob Arum did the same thing with him that he was doing with Manny Pacquiao, and that was kind of just, he kind of set those guys at the top of the food chain as the guys at top rank, and he pretty much just had them fighting other guys that were top ranked fighters. The one guy that Pacquiao had several fights with that wasn't a top ranked guy was Juan Manuel Marquez. Now, and Marquez may have spent some time as a top ranked fighter, I'm not sure, but I know Marquez was a Golden Boy fighter at times as well. So, in that regard, he may have been the exception to the rule. And Bradley also fought Marquez, and I'm not sure whose banner Marquez was under at that time. But as far as the close to their prime, especially the black fighters that were close to their prime at the time at 147, and they were on the other side of the street, Bradley stayed away from them. And Amir Khan was avoided by Bradley as well at that time. Bradley wanted no parts of Amir Khan for whatever reason. So, of course, he'll fight Amir Khan today, but at that time, Bradley wasn't interested in that Amir Khan fight. Bradley wasn't interested in that Keith Thurman fight. Bradley wasn't interested in that Sean Porter fight. Bradley wasn't interested in that Errol Spence Jr. fight. And you know what I'm saying, or Lamont Peterson fight. So, and even as Black Fight Fan brought up, Bradley also wasn't interested in fighting Bud Crawford. Be that he's a close friend of him, or be that he knew that was a bad fight for him, because there's no rule against fighting guys that you're cool with. Until the fight started being kicked around, from my understanding, Errol Spence Jr. Pretty cool with what's his name, Sean Porter. Definitely cool with Lamont Peterson. But when it came time to fight, hey, it's all about what you get paid to do. He gets paid to get in that square circle and and win fights, or at least try to win the fight. Same thing when you look at Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott. You know, Deontay Wilder said he considered Malik Scott a brother, but we saw when they fought, Deontay Wilder did what he had to do, made quick work of him. So you know, that's my take on it. There's no excuse not to fight guys who are hot in your division. Bradley hid behind Top Rank, hid on the other side of the street, stayed away from certain guys, and like a dummy. Well, I ain't gonna say he was a dummy to take the fight, but when he was at I can't remember whether that fight was 140 or 147 when he fought Provodnikov. I think that was a 147 fight, but whatever weight they fought at, Tim Bradley fought one of the dumbest fights I ever seen a fighter fight in my life. When he had the skills to fight an intelligent fight and make it an easy fight, he chose to go in there and fight out a slugfest versus a slugger. A guy who, when it comes to just pure skills, wasn't on his level. And the crazy thing is, you take a guy like Chris, what's that guy's name? Chris Algieri fought Provodnikov and made the fight easy by comparison to what Tim Bradley went life and death with the guy, and cut years off of his prime and years off his career. I mean, that fight alone is the reason, in my opinion, why Tim Bradley's commentating and not still an active fighter. That fight has a lot to do with why he's no longer boxing. I think at that point, Bradley figured, I'm going to get me a couple more in, I'm getting the hell out of this sport. Because he went in there and fought a fight tactically, from a tactical standpoint, that was tailor-made for his opponent. And he gave the guy his only chance at winning the fight, and almost lost that fight. And you know, and who's to say, he may have almost, you know, lost his life in that fight, you know. But you know, fortunately, he came out of the fight unscathed as far as you know, no permanent health issues. But at the end of the day, the man really did go in there and fight a stupid fight. And I think if that's the best he can do when something's tailor-made for him, is go in there and fight the other guy's fight, I think that he did right by getting up out of the sport. And he also did right by staying on the other side of the street. But this is D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. That's all I got to say on that topic. I'm out. Peace.